Welcome to the Eskimo experience. Battery level 120%, firing mode, frosty.
Guess I didn't even get a countdown.
Hey, Brother James checking in for the Eski count. I've got Brother Nick, Brother Timmy. How are we, boys?
Bloody excellent, mate.
You good, man?
Quality.
Yeah, another week.
Another
We're
week.
Good.
So we're episode 4, which is ticking along nicely. So which is good. Events on the weekend. Tassie had their little go-to. You got some info on that one, Nick. So
We haven't heard all about it, obviously, and I'm sure there's going to be some chat about it floating around on Facebook now. But a couple of guys based out of TAC Ops, a couple of the AMS guys coming through. So Woody there and Hayden and Jesse out at Valhalla. They're Loki's. Can't remember their exact team name. Hang on, Loki's Chaos. So brand new team out of Valhalla, and they came second. So took the trip down to Tassie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, suits us.
That's a hell of an effort.
Yeah, just
to get first 5-man event in Tassie and get themselves down
the
there.
quality that they could travel, mate. Queensland to Tassie. I mean, I thought Tassie was the island, mate. Nothing could get in. So.
No, that's probably right.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Yeah,
So,
locked us all up.
I'm going to say definitely. I think we're allowing people to come in now, but you still got to go on a quarantine. Tassie, I think you're still free and easy to go in and out.
you've got to take a 3-week holiday. Spend the first 2 weeks in the hotel and then spend a week cruising around WA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Like good news out of Tassie. They're actually hosting some events there.
Which is big. Which is good. It's good that people are supporting it. You know, like going down from Queensland to support an event down there. That's pretty cool.
That's
good
massive.
on those guys for doing it and coming back with a bit of jewellery. So.
Well, it's good too because I've sort of a couple of those guys have been coming out to some coaching that we've been running out at Valhalla, and it's sort of good them taking the initiative and actually getting out and playing some Australian paintball and not just those local events. Because, like I say to a few people, that's the best way that you're going to skill yourself up really quickly.
100%.
Yeah, so that was really awesome.
Keep playing the same people over and over. They keep doing the same things over and over. It doesn't expand your game. So it's always good to get out and play other people. So which is good. Which is good. So still on the Valhalla front, we've got a calendar of events from Troy up there.
We do,
which is good. And I love the name change that Troy's done. Like I'm digging Valhalla Paintball.
And I was actually just speaking to him last Sunday. We were out there for our training session, and obviously he wants to step away and make it his own, which he's obviously doing. And this year he's taken a really, really massive step forward and rebranding and doing a couple of cool little things with the field there. And sort of his philosophy behind that Valhalla too. You know, we're out there, we're shooting each other, having a bit of war, and then, you know, you get shot, you die, but then come back, feast with your mates, and then you're out there playing again. So it's a pretty cool idea that he's got going on there, which is good.
It is. I like it. Troy's got some good ideas for the business, so it's good that he's, you know, getting amongst it now, which is good. So
he's got a nice stacked little calendar here.
I'm super excited. I'm itching for some paintball, and obviously haven't been able to play for a while. So this calendar's, you know, it's getting me a little bit excited. And I like that we kick off first as the pros on the 27th of March. So we don't even have that far to wait, really. We've got the Queensland Cup Pro 5-man. And I guess the big news with that one too is it's now M800, 12.5 BPS, which is the fastest we've shot in Queensland for a while.
12.5 kills me. So, but it's good. It's good that, you know, I like that he's forward thinking. I like M800. That's pretty cool.
Keeps the cost down for everyone.
Yeah, but it's a bit more exciting than M500. And I get doing, you know, like, because he does M500 for the AMs and that, and I get that. But yeah, I do like, you know, M800's cool.
Yeah,
so
that's
just
cool.
a little bit more. So,
yeah.
Well, it's a nice little balance there. It's look, I personally am a fan of M500. I played all season Millennium playing it. It is what you make of it, and the more you settle into it, the more you make it work, and it gets a lot more exciting. At least as a player, might not be for a spectator, but I do think the M800 is probably that just happy medium. So look after everyone's pocket. You get a decent amount of paint there to use. realistically, a local event, if you use more than 4 pods,
you're shooting too much, really.
At least within Australia.
You got to practice on your accuracy, don't you? If you shoot more than 4, so
100%.
But that it is cool. It is cool that he's done that sort of M800. I think that's nice. So
that's a bit exciting. So that's on the Saturday.
I like that he's doing it on the Saturday. That's cool.
Yeah, well, we wanted to split it up. So, like, obviously, Saturday is going to be the pros, 27th, and then Sunday, the 28th, is going to be the AMs, 3-man comp, not the 5-man. And obviously, at the moment, we've just got this influx of amateur teams. So we were talking about running it on one day, but with how many amateur teams we've got, like, we wouldn't be able to fit it all in. So that's really exciting, I think, for Queensland Paintball.
That's cool.
Yeah, gotcha.
So that's a good position to be in.
100%. And obviously helps us, the longer they play, the better they get, and then hopefully we get some new competition as well.
Yeah.
So that's March. And then we have to go until the 2nd of the 5th. And he's going to do a bit of a scenario day playing on the Valhalla paintball. It's end of days Ragnarok. So there's going to be a few details to come about that, but I'm expecting some pretty exciting gameplay on that one. The fully packed scenario field.
Which will be good.
Yeah, in the middle of renovating some of it. So we've torn down, the old fort and moved some of the big stuff around. So it's going to be a new field that I don't think many people have played up until then.
Something a little bit fresh is always nice. So if they can adjust them and change them up a bit, once again, it gets those people who always go to that one spot and do the same thing in big scenario games. Like you see, at Total War at Rouse Hill, people would always, you'd always, all right, guys, this is what's going to happen. These people are going to go here. These people are going to go here. So just put your guns there, and we'll sort out the other guys in the middle. So, and that it happens. So it's good that he's, mixing it up and changing it up. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's good. And then we finish off that month. So what's that? End of May, 29th and the 30th.
Yep.
We have our next Queensland Cup round. So that's round 2, pro on the Saturday and AMs on the Sunday again.
Sweet.
Yeah. And I think we just pushed that one a little bit back because it was the weekend after Sevens originally, which I think would have killed some people.
Yeah, definitely. So, but
it's good. It's good to see everyone sort of still makes those adjustments. Like going, okay, if the biggest event's running these weekends, we'll just give it that little bit of breathing space.
Yeah, so Jonesy, I was just going to say, like, obviously you want to make it the premier event of Queensland, which I think Troy's really going to pull out the stops and try to do. But at the same time, you've got to sort of take a nod to something so established as Super Sevens, which draws in that massive amount of talent across Australia, across New Zealand, across from America as well. And you sort of just got to pay homage a little bit to that and keep the peace, if you will.
Well, also, it's smart putting it back a week too, because like it does let the people that play that recoup a little bit. And he's not hurting his event by doing that. If you had it the direct weekend after, I think, it'd suffer a little bit. So, but like kudos to him. I'm still digging this Saturday thing, man. Like pros on the Saturday, you guys get first go of the dirt, mate. How good's that going to be?
Oh, it's going to be great. No slimy bunkers. Not going to slip on any paint. It's going to be next level. We're going to have some, sharp refs. They're not going to be tired after a day of refereeing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. It's going to be, everything's in your favour. Everything's clean, fresh, instead of going out there after it's been chewed up. And especially if you have a little bit of rain that weekend, it's not going to be all torn apart and you guys go out into the slop.
Be that mug bod. I'm actually pretty excited too, because what I think this also gives an opportunity for is all of those amateurs that are super serious about playing and getting better, they can actually come out and watch us, all day and sort of get an idea of how the field's playing, get some tips from us when we're not, trying to get ready for games and they're not trying to get ready for games. So I think that's quite an exciting little opportunity there.
And I think that's massive for them to be able to see how you guys play it. And they go, oh, this guy was doing this. I'm going to do that when we play, man. That's sweet. Which is pretty cool.
I would imagine, like, with some of you guys to be stepping into mentor coaching roles as well, so it would give you that proper look at the field as well, so you can step in and give some pretty solid advice to the guys as well. when they're coming out on that Sunday, you're not going out blind yourself, sort of trusting your own judgment of walking a field. I mean, no, it's 3-man versus 5.
I'm not sending these kids just to get blasted up,
See how it works and then make your adjustments for when you play it.
Exactly. And then we get to our 7-man event. So 13th of the 6th on the Sunday there. The Hookham Cup, which obviously is in memorial of one of Troy's old mates who he used to play paintball with. And that was actually really well received up here in Queensland. A bit different. It's not on the sup air. We played it out in the bush. And to be honest, we went out in the bush and I thought it was going to be this massive section of Troy's field. And he confined it to this tiny section, smaller than a speedball field. And I just thought, how's 14 guys going to go on this? And so I was reffing it and mate, like, it was absolute carnage. So that's going to be super exciting. And obviously now people know what to expect and have someone to try and beat for the cup this year, which is cool.
Which will be pretty sweet.
Yeah. So. And then we've got the Saturday and Sunday, 17th and 18th of the 7th for the pros and AMs. And then round out the year, 11th and 12th of the 9th. So nice and spaced.
Nice early finish.
Great calendar, I think, and a couple of different events in there as well, just to spice it up and keep everyone interested.
Yeah, which is good.
Oh, look, got a nice little bit of space there at the end of the year too. So if there's any new players step in, if Troy's got any new ideas he wants to throw out there, he's got time to test things, run the odd one-off event sort of thing. That's pretty cool.
Well, obviously, if it's going off last year, we'll have that Boxing Day event as well. Santa's Revenge, which was nice sort of fun out there, mechanicals and some electros, just ripping on each other all day. Some of those guys pretty hungover from their Christmas celebrations, but that was nice and fun. And obviously, one thing to look forward to. Round out the year pretty well. Yeah,
you got to have a good hit and giggle at the end of the year, which is good.
Well, speaking of giggles, what do you guys think about Macca playing gel ball? Hey,
that's always a giggle. Look, I admire that he got into it so that him and his young bloke could go out and blast people, and that's cool. And that's pretty sweet that they do that. But man, it's one of those things. You never hit me. You can't see it.
Yeah,
I would hate to try and ref that event. And they tell me
that clear.
Yeah, well, and gun hits don't count. They tell me.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Just hide behind your gun the whole time. Unreal.
That's it. It's just like this.
I can see Macca taking it so well when he blasts someone in the gun, and absolutely cheery about that.
Even anyone. I mean, that was when I first started playing paintball up in Tamworth. I said to one of the guys, he was sort of running the club then, I said, does it count if you get shot in the gun? He goes, well, answer me this. If they shot you with a 50 cal, would your gun still work? And I was like, well, that's a fair point, I suppose. So, but gun hits don't count in gel ball.
No, it doesn't. So it's probably half the reason they ended up coming second. So if you
kept shooting guns.
Yeah, he must have. Him and Bancroft must have been shooting guns and not hitting bodies. So, give them a bit of grief about that.
Yeah.
Well, I'd imagine now they've got some dates for at home, or plus the sevens. The boys will start maybe making their way out to a paintball field again soon.
I hope to get in their area a little bit and probably get in a real quality scrim, which would be nice. So, keep them fresh for you guys just as well as getting fresh for us. Appreciate it, mate.
Appreciate it. Eskimo brother all the way through. It doesn't matter which team. It's still an Eskimo.
Well, speaking of, I've got a present for you today, Jonesy.
Oh, come in, did it?
Here we are, the fresh new.
Hey, they didn't take 12 months to come in, did they?
They didn't. That's super exciting. Can't wait to rock those.
Yeah, the material in those new dye jerseys is mint too. Not like the old ones. That were the full mesh. They're actually, I like the material.
Super sturdy, it looks like. So.
Yeah. I took Gaddies and young Jesse Plockies out to them on the weekend as well. And they were the same. Like, Jesse was like, fuck yeah, this is sick. And super chuffed with it. And the colours just, I think the colour just looks nice,
Oh, I can't wait to wear it. Wearing it this weekend, so.
Yeah, beautiful. Don't get it dirty before sevens, man.
You've got to get it worn in. Get that lucky dirt on it.
I was going to say,
lucky dirt.
wear it in, give them a wash, get the harder elbows and that softened up a little bit.
A few extra bounces. That's a pro tip from SDK.
Yeah.
No, it's more just so that way that it folds to your pads on your arms.
Instead,
I know HK put in like a really hard wearing material on the arms. So when it first comes in, it's real stiff. You need a couple of washes in that thing just to soften it up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, hitting it with sandpaper.
Speaking of dye stuff and new dye stuff, dyes, the Ironmen are going to be looking for a new coach because Martinez has jumped ship.
Yeah.
Like, how's that? I didn't see that coming at all.
Neither did I. Although, after watching Cup, I forget her last name. It's Nikki someone who's sort of been their assistant coach for a while. She obviously did a phenomenal job at Cup to get as far as she did. And she was out there at the training on the weekend. I just saw on their Instagram stories. So they must be running with her this year.
Yeah.
Well, I know, so Nikki and her husband Fran are the owners of Victory Paintball Park, where all the guys, so the old Camp Pendleton.
Yeah, okay.
So they run that. They've been heavily involved in there. So I've heard. So I would imagine, she'll be stepping into that role. But it's bigger I think it's bigger for Heat.
Yeah.
Realistically, the Heat guys have always had a standing coach, whether it was Sam step away from playing to coach and then Ryan to do the same. And then Sarge stepping in. And to be honest, I thought Sarge did a really good job. But, to pull in someone like Todd, it's going to be interesting to see how that works for the boys.
I think, he did it tough. Like, I respect Todd Martinez as a player and all that stuff and a great paintball mind. And he did it tough with the rosters he had to work with. Do you know what I mean? And that was a real hard thing to, you got this top quality guy who knows paintball, knows the game, has a good paintball mind, and he's getting, not a top level team to coach. So I think it's going to be interesting. That's for sure. Is it going to be the next step for Heat? Is it going to, are those boys going to take it to that next level? I hope so, which would be good. So
they'd have to do better than their 2 9th place finishes last year. That's pretty uncharacteristic for such a superstar squad.
Yeah, for a team of that caliber, it is. It's, so hopefully this is it. Hopefully the boys. Much love to all the boys over there. So
100%.
But so
obviously we've got that pretty strong Heat connection, so we always want to see the guys doing really well. But just watching Ronnie's vlogs, like we all knew Ronnie was injured going into Cup. Didn't realise there was a few the other boys carrying stuff through that whole event as well. So they didn't look themselves 100%, but they were still in every single bloody game. Yep. So it just proves like that American Pro Division's cutthroat. You have one off day, and then all of a sudden you're languishing in the middle of the pack rather than at the top.
And it is that top echelon. And that is what it is. Speaking of top echelon and teams that are making moves, like Damage is going to be a force. Like picking up LJ, that's a massive windfall for those guys.
That's another little piece of the pie there for them.
So, which is huge. It is massive, and even like Michael McGowan jumping in there, those guys are going to, I think that brings them up to that level. Those couple of additions is what they've sort of maybe been lacking a little bit there, and take a little bit of the pressure off, the Edwards boys a bit, and they can now take it to that next step, which would be good.
Well, they didn't look out of place. Obviously watched the Invitational a couple of weeks back, and obviously Damage, they were phenomenal. So no one could touch them. No one could touch them though. Like even though you're up against those semi-pro guys or the lower end professional teams, they just look crisp. So this off season has to be treating them well for them to look that good and that dominant.
100%. So
realistically, look how they looked at Cup. Like they were looking really damn strong there. I got to admit, I was stoked to see them that strong.
They haven't been that
they
strong.
They used to be a team that I followed pretty closely.
They haven't been that strong for a long time. Yeah. Like they've been at best at the bottom of the middle of the pack, for the last couple of years. And it's heartbreaking to watch. But those guys, at Cup were a different team. That's
the thing. They've been putting the pieces together for a while now. I mean, they got Keith back. Then they bring Joe Glute back as a coach. I think he lit a fire under all their asses, and then all of a sudden you saw the results of Cup. Obviously, with Tim's passing, they had to carry that through Cup as well. And now we're seeing them sort of push into this season and pick up who they need to make these extra pushes where they need it.
100%. It's exciting times.
So I think they're definitely going to be interesting to see. It's top of the pack's going to be real interesting to watch this year.
It's going to be who gets those guaranteed entries into the Champions Cup. I think they've ended 100%. Up calling it.
No, I want Super Cup. It's Super Cup, mate.
Super Cup sounds better. I don't know why they went
with
Champions Cup, but
because Super Cup was the South African.
Okay, makes a lot of sense now.
So that was always Super Cup. So Champions Cup kind of stands.
And competing with Super Bowl weekend. So
no, weekend before,
but
like Pro Bowl.
Yeah, they're not that stupid. That's the whole idea. Go the weekend before, and then that way, if anyone here will follow NFL, you'll know at the moment there's not a lot of games to be watching because they're in postseason finishing up. We're heading into Super Bowls next weekend? Weekend after.
Like 10 days or something, isn't it?
So so you've got this time of year all the games that are normally on American TV, they're not there. So that's what they're aiming to sort of be able to fill that sort of a void with this Champions Cup, at least going forward. So it's a good idea, I think, in terms of timing of the year. It might make it hard for those East Coast teams if they make it through and trying to train throughout the snow.
Get yourself a nice indoor field, you know.
But
So but it's exciting. Speaking of else is exciting, who's that Eskimo for the week? So we will run that now, and we'll be back in a minute.
Who's that
Esteban here from the Eskimo Brothers. What team do you play on?
Rubber Ducky.
Rubber Ducky. So he played Rubber Ducky today at the Wagga 3-man. Plays in what division in sevens?
Division AMS.
AMS. And what side of the field do you play? Doritos or the snake side?
Mostly the snake corner.
Snake corner. And you played in there today. I played in front of you today. Had a bit of fun, which was good. One of their players went down, so I had to fill in for the boys, and it was a bit of fun. Favourite opposition? Who do you love shooting in the face?
Paul.
Paul. He's on your team, man.
Yeah, I want to shoot him.
Or back of the head?
Yeah.
And what?
He's going to be next
opposite team, yeah?
He's going to be opposite team this year.
What gun do you shoot?
170R.
And what's your biggest tip for someone starting out?
I'll try to learn and always come to the field and train with professional players. It's better because they're always going to help you out and stuff.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, all good. All right. Well, thanks for having a couple of seconds with us, brother. And thanks for your day, man. I enjoyed playing with you boys. Righto, so that was our Who's That Eskimo for the week. That was Esteban, and he's been playing. Last year would have been his first full season. It's not really a season, but this year he'll be playing his first full season, which is good. Good kid. He's always out training in action. He puts in the time on the field, and another one that he'll listen to you when you give him tips and that, which is always good. I did have to have a wardrobe change, so.
So you'll learn how to work those things. Just starts dying, pull one out, chuck it in the case.
I was watching, I heard the noise and I'm like, it should be okay. But it just died real quick. So anyway, so Esteban making some moves. He's going to be playing this season with the younger guys and jumping in with those boys, the Polar Express, which will be pretty cool. And a couple of the guys from Dubbo are jumping in on that team as well, so which will be good.
How'd Polar Express go last year? Or the year before? They went pretty well from memory.
In 2009, that team was the Penguin squad, basically, which was the guys that won it all, which was Craig Singh's team who are playing semi-pro now. Round one last year, the Polar Express come second or third, I think. I think it was second.
They were up there, I think, but they podiumed, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
so he's got
but they've lost a couple of people too, like young Jesse that was on that team. He's stepping up to semi-pro. Chester played on that team as well last year, and he's playing for Marauders this year. So it's been a bit of a breeding ground, that squad. Lachlan, who was their captain, he's stepping away from paintball. He's looking at buying a house with his missus. So they've taken a few hits. But they've still got the 3 young guys like Jack, Lucas, and James. They're all back in. Esteban will jump in with them. Amy's coming across from the Dubbo guys, and a couple other people from Dubbo are jumping in as well. So they should still go okay. Lucas is always out training, with Esteban. They're always there together. Esteban picks him up and takes him. So Lucas is only 14. So yeah, Esteban picks him up, takes him to the field, and then his old man picks him up afterwards. So yeah,
no, that's cool.
So which is good. Lucas is a good kid. So I was going to do
And so that's the way to be. I mean, you realistically, especially for the Eskimos, there's an array of teams to play with. There's opportunities to step up and to move up. Realistically, you want to hear about the amateur teams being breeding grounds.
100%.
It's unfortunate when people have got to step away for real life things, but I mean that's life. But for guys like, cool to see Chester stepping up into the Marauders and the other guys stepping up in our own ranks further up with our teams that's awesome.
And that's what we're about. We're about growing players and growing the sport, which is good. So unfortunately, people leave before the magic happens, but that's always going to happen. So, but it is what it is. So
grass is always greener.
Amen.
It's the nature of it. I mean, hell, we've got we've had a few of the impure guys from WA play with the Eskimos a few years ago. They've basically taken that Eskimo ethos and still running that sort of idea over here in WA. Young Eric, that's their captain these days, he was running a 3-man style training yesterday. I know they had a bunch of new players out doing the same thing, just bringing up the new player, find them a spot with them, and then they'll find their way up the ranks.
That's even what's happening up here too. Like as Eskimos, we're starting to run these clinics and run these coaching opportunities. And I think people just really buy into that mentality and that philosophy of the Eskimos more than anything. Like it's not even just about playing paintball. Obviously, they enjoy that, but it's that brotherhood that comes around with it, which it's just so cool to be a part of.
Yep, 100%. And that's that. Like at Tamworth. When we had people that wanted to start playing tournament paintball, getting an electronic gun in their hand was one of the highlights, man. Like seeing someone shoot a gun with ramping for the first time after shooting a 98 every week was just, it's phenomenal. So, and then, the only thing I ever say to people is, they go, they'll say, thanks for letting me use your gun and that. And I always just say, just do me a favour. When you've got your own gun and there's some new kid there, give him your gun for a day, and just pass it on. So... which is good.
Yeah.
So, and that was, that's what it was about getting your gun in. Even like Total Wars, if we're in the last bit of the Total War and there's no more respawns and I get shot out, I'll run past some kid that's got a GOG in his hand and just grab his gun and give him my CS2 and just run off. And the kid won't know what to do. So, but you always find them afterwards. How was it? Oh man, that's sick. And that's, get them bitten. So...
That's always the thing, though. You give someone access to something they don't know about. You watch them sort of get bit by that bug, and you'll see them out at a training day hopefully pretty soon afterwards.
100%.
Or if they're already in it, get coming out a bit more or upgrading their gear and all the rest. It just lights that fire.
Definitely. Cool. I didn't actually have a talk with anyone else this week, so. I was meant to have a chat with someone, but they had to pull the pin. He got a bit busy later in the week and then just didn't have a chance. So, did you boys didn't get out and play on the weekend?
Oh, did.
Oh, here we
go. Finally got our asses out there.
Scraped the rust out of the joints.
No, it was a good way. I had my birthday yesterday, so it was a good way to get out and spend the day. So got out with the lads and we had our first proper hit out, beat crap out of each other for a couple of hours and then bailed out. So. That's our first one in the bag, so it was just finding our feet again, sort of just going through. It was good to see, like, realistically, our squad as SDK, we've been training together now solidly for years. So for us, it was a matter of just getting back into the groove of things, making sure communication's there and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to start refocusing on some drills and whatnot for some of our plans for this season, which obviously they'll start making their way out sooner rather than later. The other thing that did confirm though is I'm catching up with Brad from Wasp on Wednesday night. We're going to finalise the WA dates, so I'll have them for us to have a proper chatter about next week. But it was good. It was good. Nice to finally get out. We figured out it was like 7 weeks off that we've had It's the longest break we've ever had. So nice to end that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, and the bug would be itching you by now. You know?
Yeah.
You can't stay away from the field that long.
No, it's been nice to avoid the hot heat, but yeah, it gets to the point where you're just like, yeah, I'll happily go and sweat, sort of thing. So
that's good.
Yeah, we went out to Action, had a run on the new SUP airfield without the hyperball on it. Which was good. It was flat, but it was amazing. So flat,
nice and soft.
Yeah, it was soft, a little bit loose on the dirt at the moment, but they've been watering it, so it'll start to come up pretty quick. Like the grass is still all there underneath. It's just they had to fill in the holes, so which is good. We did top out, like it was 37 degrees out there, so it was pretty warm. So
we had a pretty good one. We train opposite weeks to you guys, so we had it not Sunday gone, Sunday before, and had a great showing. Like 12 brand new amateurs out there. Nice and overcast for us as well. So we weren't dying, unlike you fellas. But it's good. It just seems like the start of the year, more than anything, everyone's got that passion or that excitement about paintball, and it just makes those training sessions, even the more mundane drills that you do for your skills, like people are getting in, they're ripping in and enjoying them, which is just so fun.
Yeah, definitely. It is, and that's the joys early in the season where people are actually a little bit excited and a bit passionate and happy to do that little shit, which is good. So, very good.
Happy days.
Cool. We will have another member of the team joining us to do the Victorian end of the country, I guess. So we'll see how that sort of pans out and how we work this. The logistics of it. So we might put a poll up whether we have 4 Eskimos in the chat or whether we just go one-on-one. So we might let the people decide that one. So we'll
take some guesses of who it is as well, hey?
Oh yeah, who's that 4th Eskimo?
Who's that Eskimo on the couch?
So a couple of guesses as to who it would be. One's already hosting his own podcast, so I think it's probably not him.
Nice. Yeah. So all good. Has that started? Has he kicked that off? Is it happening or?
No, I believe he's probably started recording. Haven't seen anything drop just yet, but I know Kai will be screaming from the mountaintops as soon as something's out.
Yeah.
And usual thing, we'll chat about it. We'll
definitely
pump him up, same as what I know he'll pump us up.
100%, sort of mate. We're a family, so it's all good. Cool. All right. Well, on that note, we might call that episode 4, boys. So in the bag, done.
Sweet.
Yeah, because I had the technical issue. I've got 10 minutes on my recording time. I don't know what it was before that, whether it was 24 or something. Anyway, we'll see what it ends up at. So, all good. Sweet. All right, boys. Thanks for checking in, and we will see you boys next week. And we might get a guessing competition up. We will start to do a few giveaways too, so that's something that'll start to kick off.
Sweet.
And there's a little bit something a little bit exciting in the works for I don't know if people notice on our jerseys G5. So there's something a little bit exciting in the works with that as well. So that'll be starting to come about. So all good. We'll keep people guessing on that, and we will leave this here. So thanks for your time, boys, and you all have a wonderful evening.
Catch you next week, boys.
See you all next week.
Powering off.